Hello, how are you? I'm so glad you're here. So, one of the very common thing that people often see when we're working together is that they can't seem to commit to doing certain bits of their homework, if you like, certain things that they know they should do as part of their work in recovering from chronic pain or other persistent symptoms. And of course, we can all relate to that, I'm sure, in different aspects of our life. Um, but it's certainly something that comes up quite a lot, and there's a lot of various reasons behind that. We'll often resist the things that um, we need to do. It can be perhaps because we're a bit worried what's going to come up if we explore certain things. That's certainly a common issue. Um, or I guess it's finding the time, isn't it? It's prioritizing these things when life is busy, and that we're maybe a wee bit anxious about what's actually going to happen if we commit to that. There's the fear of, what if it works, what if it doesn't work, what's going to come off if I start to maybe thinking about emotional work, what things are going to come up, and that's quite can be quite frightening to the nervous system, although maybe we're not aware of it as being such. And the problem then, like we talked about before, is then we get into that whole kind of cycle of frustration of why can I not just get on with this and we haven't done it? And like we mentioned in a previous video, then feel you haven't achieved anything. So then you give yourself a hard time, and then we're going round in the whole kind of circle of things again. Um, and it can be in relation to actually doing the work to help um, the resolution of the symptoms, or it can sometimes be in terms of other things. It might be things that we enjoy doing, or we used to enjoy doing, that we've kind of put aside. And people will often say, "Oh, I just can't seem to get focus for that, or could get all my bits together, and I'm not in the mood." And that again can be due to the state of arousal that the nervous system's in. If your nervous system's in a very kind of hyper vigilant, hyper alert state, then it's likely to resist doing things that are perceived as not essential. So if it's maybe, if you say you like to play piano, or even just simple things like reading a book, um, these are, if you like, kind of excuse me, luxury things to do, if you like. They're not essential things in the terms of survival, although obviously they are essential to you for well-being, whatever your particular interest might be. In terms of survival mode, they're obviously not essential. And if your nervous system is in survival mode, if it's constantly like a little meerkat up looking for whatever next danger's coming along, then the idea of you starting to play a wee tune on the piano isn't going to be in keeping with that. So the enthusiasm for it, the will to do it, the kind of focus, if you do actually get yourself there, the ability to concentrate on it is often not great, and that can be a source of frustration for people as well. So my handy top tip for all these things, whether it's in relation to doing the work that's directly associated with the program we've been working on, or whether it's perhaps doing activities that you previously enjoyed, or even if it's actually things that have to be done that you don't want to do. So that pile of admin that's sitting there, or the ironing, or whatever it might be, things that kind of have to be done, but we don't want them. So there's a range of different things that we might put off and procrastinate about for various reasons. And a simple tip that I say to people as well, if they're important, if we're recognising that these things have to be done, that we want to do them, and they're going to, they need to be done, and we can't delegate them, we don't want to delegate them for whatever reason, then we're accepting that they have to be done. So why not put them into your diary like an appointment, the way you would if you had to go to the doctors, or the dentist, or take your car in to get serviced, or get your hair done, or whatever it might be. You would have that as an appointment in your diary or on your calendar. So try and do the same with the work you should be doing to aid your recovery. If it's perhaps journaling, put in a 20-minute slot each day of the week, whatever time is feasible, and you commit to that. And that's an appointment that you would attend just as well as you booked your car in for its service, or you were going to the dentist. You wouldn't just say, "Oh, I'm really not in the mood going to the dentist today, so I'm not going to bother. You would say, well, no one wants the dentist, but do you know, I'm going to do it anyway because I know overall it's in my best interest, and I've made the appointment and all that kind of thing. So book it into your diary. Be careful again not to book in hundreds of things, but like we were talking about before about having things that are achievable. So maybe 2 or 3 things a day. So you might say, right, I'm going to book in a 20-minute slot for journaling. I'm going to spend 20 minutes playing a piano, and I'm going to get outside for 10 minutes. And that's your 3 things for that day. In your diary, and you put in whatever time it is you're going to do it. So I'm going to journal at 2:30 in the afternoon. I'm going to play the piano at 6 o'clock, and I'm going to go outside for 10 minutes in the morning, or 10 o'clock in the morning, whatever it may be. You've got it in, it's an appointment, and you're then sticking to it. So again, back to the previous one of keeping things manageable, specific, and achievable, not sitting for too long. So don't think I'm going to sit and read this book for an hour. It's too long, and you probably will lose concentration, particularly if your nervous system's still in a state of arousal. So keep it short. Even if 20 minutes might be too long, if you're finding it challenging. So do 5 minutes, whatever you think is achievable for you. Even if it's a bit, so make it a bit easier than you think you can manage, and then you're achieving it. And then it's back to like we were talking about before about, there you go, I've achieved it. I'm proud of myself. I can tick that off my list. I can tick that off my diary. I've done it. And book it in again for another time. So you want to be setting yourself challenges, but not challenges that are too much. You make things too hard just now, then there's just not scope for it. If you're living with chronic pain or other persistent symptoms, there is a capacity, there is a limit for everybody, and your limit is you're already kind of getting near to that. Your nervous system doesn't have much more leeway to cope with. So we want to make things simple, achievable, but still that you feel you're making progress and you can recognise the progress that you're making. So you know what works for you in terms of timings, but I would say no more than 20 minutes on any activity, no more than 3 a day. Obviously, you still have all your normal stuff you need to do, whatever that may be, whatever normal is for you. But 3 things, maximum 3 things a day that you feel you're putting off or you're resistant to doing that you think you should do. Get them in your diary like an appointment, and then you can commit to them and get them checked off. Okay, so that was my top tip for avoiding excessive procrastination. So do let me know how you got on with that. And I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.